to me, just have a seat, relax and get comfortable, put up your feet. I've been dying to know what's on your mind, what's been going on, it's been too long. So grab you a drink and start spilling the tea. It's easy to see that I just love your energy. So go ahead and tell all, I'm so glad you called, cause I'm here for it all. I'm here for it, yeah, I'm here for it, yeah. I got you, you know all your secrets safe with. Here for it, here for it, here for it all.
It's your girl Tiffany D, and you're watching Sip and Dish. Welcome to part 2 of my interview with Dawn Robinson. Make sure you subscribe to check out part 1.
I love that so much. And see,
but I miss that. Those are the things that I do miss about the camaraderie of the group. You know what? Nobody's ever talked about this with me.
That's what
You're
I'm
the first.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I'm like, I see so many people wanting to know, what happened in the group, and I'm sure we'll graze on that a little bit.
Sure.
I really want to talk about the fond memories of you.
Yes.
But I think that sometimes the breakup overshadows the
It does.
impact that you
Exactly.
had on music, not only for women, R&B groups, but for Black women. And I think that
Yes.
to be shined or shunned.
Shown. Shined on. Sheened.
Whatever it is. Let's call Terry.
We know what you mean, Tiffany. We know what you mean.
Yeah.
We know what you mean. It's all good.
Talk about that too, because you guys had such an amazing impact, and I know that it was kind of like a messy way that it ended, but wasn't it beautiful what you guys had to create?
It was so beautiful. It was a sisterhood.
Yeah.
I have talked about the love that I have for them a couple of times. Sometimes, like you said, when you go through any kind of breakup, you get fired from your job, you're not going to be happy and talk good things about that job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to say nice things. When you have a breakup, or your boyfriend or your husband or whoever, girlfriend, even if you are into women, cheats on you, you're not going to talk about that person with fond memories. You're going to have anger at first. And so at first I was very angry, but I can talk with fond memories, especially now because I'm writing about my life. And I actually have mentioned Terry's humor before. She's just funny. So I have mentioned that, but we had a sisterhood. We went through a lot of stuff together. Our first for everything with EnVogue was together.
Yeah.
Our first time being on TV, our first time recording in the studio, recording an album was together. I recorded before EnVogue, but I didn't record an album until I got with them. So everything that we went through was a first together. Being overseas for the first time together. Oh my God, getting on the flight to London for the first time was together. Excuse me. When we got into the group, just Maxine calling me, she was calling me because at the audition, she had asked me to do a show with her. And there's this place in Oakland, California called Jeffrey's. So I said yes. And she's like, I'll pay you. I don't have a lot, but I can pay you. And I said, well, I don't have any clothes. So she called me 2 days after the audition. We talked about the clothes. And she said, well, you can come over and look at some stuff the day of the show and just come over early and you can get dressed here for the show and we can ride over together. Cool. Then she was telling me about the set, what she wants to do, that she doesn't have her band together. Yeah, but she doesn't have a drummer or a keyboard player, but those little things.
Right.
Okay, fine. So about a week later, she calls me back. Okay, finally got the band. These are the songs we're doing. Take this song off the list, take that song off, and then I'm going to add this one, add that one. And oh my God, okay, cool. So again, tomorrow when you come for the show, because it was the day before the show. So tomorrow when you come over, we're going to, you can look at the clothes. And I was like, cool. She said, oh my God, can you believe we are in the group? We both we all made the group. And I was like, huh? She said, yeah, we all made the group. I was like, wait, Matt, wait. So wait a minute. So what do you, okay, wait. So who told you that we made, she said, Denny didn't call you? I said, no, our producer. She said, Denny didn't call you? I said, no, he hasn't called me. I said, so wait a minute, Maxine. So are you saying, I'm on the phone with her. Are you saying, did Denny say, okay, Maxine, you made the group, Terry made the group. Who else made the group? Because there was another girl there that was named Jordana that did make the group. So there's actually 5 of us that day. So it was Cindy, Terry, Maxine, Jordana, and me. And Terry was really late to the audition. She didn't get there until like 11 that night because her flight was late coming in from Houston. She had bad weather. She was trying all day long to get the audition. So finally, so I said, who's in the group? I said, did he say, she said, Terry, you, me, and Cindy. I was like, no, Jordana, because Jordana was real rough. She came in Tiffany, she came in the audition like, oh, so, yeah, after a while, because she was fine at first, but then she was like, okay, so what's up? Like, y'all don't have no beer? Like, y'all ain't gonna feed us? Like, where's the food? I was like, she is not gonna make the group. She's not in it.
Oh my.
She's not gonna make the group. Oh, you're not gonna make the group. Yeah, Jordana, yeah, bless her heart. She didn't make it. So Maxine said, I said, Maxine, okay, say it again. Just, okay. He told you, so Maxine, you made the group, and did he say my name? Did he say my name, Maxine? She said, yes. He said, I said, okay, so how did he tell you? And he said, okay, Maxine, you made the group. And she said, oh my God, I'm happy. And he said, yep. And Cindy made the group, Terry made the group, and Dawn made the group. Or he probably said my name, and then Terry, and then Cindy. However he said it, my name was in there. And that's all I needed to know right there, because he hadn't called me yet.
Oh, so that is how you found out.
Exactly. Maxine told me, yes. And then just before I was leaving out the door to go to Maxine's house the next day, Denny called me, and I was like, hi, Denny, I already know. Maxine told me. And he was like, oh, she told you already? Oh, okay, yeah, you made the group. You're in the group.
Well, sir,
and congratulations.
Tell me, sir.
Huh? Yeah, what?
How long are you going to take to tell me?
Exactly.
What is going on?
How long were you going to wait? Because I was waiting a week. And Maxine knew a whole week ago. I didn't even know. She was like, yeah. Or actually, it wasn't a whole week, because we did the audition. 2 days later, she called me for the show. So probably 2 days after that, I think she said he called her. So it wasn't a full week, but still, dang it.
That's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time, yes.
But
so
what a way to find out, though.
Isn't that incredible? And it was so cute that she told me first. I don't know. I just feel some kind of connection with her because of that. You know, it was really like, yeah.
Give you life-changing news.
Exactly. And we both screamed and shared that on the phone, that moment, you know, with each other. Yeah.
And then went and did a show together.
And they did a show together, exactly. I remember to this day, I wore some, she had this, the dress was like it had crinoline in it. So it was big, and it was black and white, and it was just, it was a bad look. But we weren't known yet. So it didn't matter. Oh my gosh, yeah, I remember that dress. Yeah, and I remember the whole thing. I remember that moment and doing the show with her. So I think because of that, and because I met Maxine before the other two girls, before EnVogue, actually, before the audition, she was braiding hair at a hair salon. And the owner of the hair salon found out I was getting my hair done by someone else, but the owner came over and was like talking to me. And then the girl that was doing my hair said, oh, she can sing too. And told Jeffrey that. Jeffrey's a different guy, but he was only that salon. He owned that salon. And he said, oh, Maxine. And Maxine turned around. He said, she said, yes, Jeffrey. He said, this girl, what's your name? I said, Dawn. And because I was sitting in the chair, I said, Dawn. And he said, Dawn said that she can sing. So you can sing, and y'all need to sing something together. So we were trying to figure out the song. And I keep saying, Don't Let It Go to Your Head by Jean Carn. And Maxine has always said, if you play your cards right. Yeah, if you play cards right, everything's gonna be all right with me. Yeah, so she thinks it's that song. And I thought it was like, don't let it go to your head. No, they sound similar.
Right?
They do. Yeah, Jean Carn. Yes. So whatever the song was, we met each other probably a good 7 months to a year before the audition. So when she walked into the audition, so Cindy was there first. I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away.
No,
but you probably have other questions in what I'm saying, so you just tell me.
But I like this story part. Something that nobody else knows.
Yes, exactly. I've kind of talked about it a little bit, but it's okay. It's good anyway. So she, when I walked into the audition, So anyway, well, let's go back. Getting to the audition, Tiffany, was God. And there's so many moments in your life when, you know, you walk away from a car accident and nothing's wrong, or you have a scratch.
Yep.
Or it's like, whoa, I lived through that. You know, and those kind of moments, I know that that's God. There's no other explanation. You don't even have to believe in God. You just know that that was something saved you that day, right?
Yes.
So I was 2 years out of high school. My friend Kim and I would always go to Summer Jam every year. Summer Jam is an all-day concert in Oakland, California. And everybody in the Bay Area is there. And I'm telling you, like 22 to 25,000 people any given year. Oh God, it's a huge concert. And you can sit on the grass. You can bring a picnic basket and food and all that stuff and sit on the grass area, or you can get the better seats in the middle, or even better and sit next to the stage. So every year, probably 3 years, in my last 3 years of high school, we would go to that concert. My mom would buy the tickets, so I'm sitting in the nosebleeds. Right. We weren't on the grass, but we were still so you gotta look and see who the heck is on the stage. Couldn't see nobody. Right, so this year I had my own job. So me and Kim got the better seats. Mm-hmm. So we were with two friends, Lawrence and Michael. They weren't on dates or anything, we were just friends. And we're sitting 10 rows we were in VIP seats now, because we can buy them ourselves. Yes! So we're 10 rows from the stage. And in between sets, in between artists coming on stage, we would go to the bathroom, and it was really code for, let's go check out some guys. And so we got up from our section, and once we got to the top of our section, this guy yells out, now you're talking about people in between going to the bathroom, going to get food, you know what I mean, walking around trying to find friends, trying to find their seats, because then I lost where they sat, all that stuff. Is a lot of people, droves of people. This guy says, excuse me, hey, excuse me. And we both turned around. He said, are you a model? I was like, whatever. I just played him off. I really did. I just cold like played him like whatever. And we actually did try to go to the restroom. The line was too long, so we went and got some popcorn and a drink and came back. Tiffany, he was still standing there. Now, when we walked to the bathroom, we were walking this way. So he's behind me when he said, excuse me, I turned around. We both turned around. He was behind us. So now that we're walking forward, I'm looking right at him. And he was like, excuse me, I'm the one who asked you if you could sing, if you're a model. And I was like, I am not a model. I was so nasty, right? I said, I am not a model. And he said, well, can you sing? Are you a singer at all? And I was like, oh, yes, yeah. Yes, I'm a singer. I can sing. So he thought I had a good look. And now he's like, okay, you have the look, but I need to know if you can actually sing it. And I was, again, that's the God moment, because I was so rude to him. So was my friend Kim. We were both rude. Yeah. This is really what God is. My friend Kim was actually a model. She was short, so she couldn't do runway. But her parents, she was an only child of two parents that had very good jobs. So they got her there's this thing called Barbizon in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Barbizon modeling. I don't know if it's worldwide. I knew that back then it was in San Francisco. She was in Barbizon. They had gotten her book done. So she had all these beautiful pictures done from she had a modeling, like she was going to be a model. Even if it was just editorial or doing commercials and stuff like that. She was a model. I was not. So for him to ask me,
right,
that triggered the conversation. And then again, when he's asking me if I was a singer, because if he would have talked to her, I would have probably gone back to my seat to let her talk like she did with me. She went back to her seat and I talked to him about singing. She would have stayed there and talked to him about modeling. Exactly. You see how God worked that out? I was like, oh my gosh.
And that's what started it all.
The next day, yes, he was like, you got to come to 2 days later, come to my house so I can hear you sing. I want to know if you actually have talent. And I was like, I am not coming to your house. I don't know you. Exactly. I do not know you. Like, no. But I live with my parents. You can come to my parents' house because they'll both be there. You can come there and see, and hear me sing. So 2 days later, he came to my parents' house. He heard me sing Anita Baker, Rapture, and then Been So Long off of that album. Yeah. And he was like, oh yeah, you can sing. So that is
wow.
Yeah, that's God again. All of that. Do you understand how many, you probably don't know that in the Bay Area It is chock full of talent. You're talking about Rosie Gaines, who sang Diamonds and Pearls with Prince. You're like, yes, Rosie Gaines can play any instrument. She plays the drums. He never highlighted her that way. Rosie Gaines is uber talented. You feel me? Yeah, she's that. She can play drums, and she can go over to the keyboards and bam, bam, bam. Then she can go over to the guitar and play the guitar. She can play the bass. Like Rosie Gaines is a band within herself as a woman.
Come on, sis.
She's incredible. She's amazing. And I really want to go to her at some point and I heard she's going through some mental issues. So I pray for her to have clarity, to have mental clarity, that God intervenes. Because I know that place is probably, my cousin is, within the Black community, sometimes schizophrenia. I'm not saying that she's that. So bless her heart. I hope she's not. If she ever sees it, that she doesn't think I'm saying that. But within her family, she's got some issues mentally, and so I want to go to her. But she's uber talented. And then you got Journey. You got Tower of Power. You got Sly and the Family Stone. Who else? Oh my God! EnVogue, of course. So much talent coming out of the Bay Area. And when I was a kid growing up, 16, 17 years old, I would sing background for all these women. Those women.
That is what I want to get to. Like,
yes, I did.
Around this.
Yes.
So long.
Yes, I was.
Even in the group.
Exactly,
and
Tiffany.
You have longevity within your own right as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Singing background, just being amongst these people, like,
yes,
an interesting story already before even getting to the group.
Thank you so much. Yes, I hear you. Yes. Well, I sing back. So Maxine sang background for a lot of these women too. You heard me say that I sing background for Maxine.
Oh yeah.
She had a show. Exactly. So that's what you do. You gig. And maybe somebody in the audience knows who you or likes your sound, and they work for a record company, or their boyfriend works at a label, or their mother is the head of something at some label, and they can sign you. That's why you're paying your dues.
Yes.
A lot of these shows, these TV shows like, American Idol, it is another way to break into the business. But I think that a lot of those people need to pay more of their dues, because you learn so much about how to talk to your band. Mm-hmm. How to tell your drummer to pull back a little bit because you're playing too hard. I can't sing over you. I can't compete even with a microphone. I can't compete with you. Guitar player, turn your amp down a little bit because your amp is too loud and I can't hear over you. As a vocalist, we can only do so much, and we can't sing over a band. You know what I mean? We can't compete. There's no way that you can compete with a drum set. And a guitar player or a bass player or a keyboard player has an amp on the floor, and they're even louder.
Yeah.
If they were playing just naturally in the room, you could hear them a little bit, but they need an amp to be able to be heard. And I can't compete with that. So you got to learn those things by doing gigs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm like, okay, it's nice to have American Idol. I'm sorry, hon.
No, you're fine. No, I was just new age out here too, because I feel like, in that time in music, there was a band, there were gigs. That was how you paid your dues.
That's it.
The only way you could get your voice out or your face seen.
That's right. That's right.
Of like social media, and everybody's pressing buttons to create a beat. If you need
a guitar,
it's a button. If you need background vocals, all you have to do is press the button. The whole harmony is there for you.
That's right. That's right. Even with us, we've gotten lazy because you can fly your vocals. Back in the day, we would have to sing every single harmony and stuff. So if you sing, that's not a harmony. No, you're never gonna get it. Never ever gonna get it. Ooh, you gotta fly that all in. We had to fly that in back then. Never ever. I can't hear the harmony in my head. Anyway, we had to fly all that in. I'm not warmed up, but we had to fly all that in. So we had to sing, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. And then Cindy had to sing her part. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. However, our harmonies, we had to stack them naturally.
Yes.
One after the other. So you're stacking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, sometimes 6 times to make it really thick. and embellish it, make it sound rich. That's why our harmonies were so great. Now you can take that same harmony, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, and plug it in 6 times.
Exactly, and that's it.
They push a button and they plug it in 6 times. You don't even have to sing it.
Exactly.
That to me is lazy.
Change the dynamic of music today.
Exactly.
Opinion. And that is why I'm such an old soul when it comes to music. I'm not really like listening to music nowadays. I feel like I have to because I have to stay up on current events because it's my job. But what I love, what feeds my soul is music that is real.
Right.
Where you had to go in the studio and play all the instruments to the song. There wasn't a track.
Yes. Okay. Never gonna get it. Well, speaking of that song, and Hold On, both had samples in them. We had the Big Payback. So the Big Payback. James Brown is in there. We have that sample. We don't have the part where it says the Big Payback in there, but we have the bass line. That bass line is in there. So they did use the sample for both of those songs. The same sample. But Denny and Tommy played the instruments, the other instruments in that song. They played it. So I don't know if they played the drums because they don't play drums. I don't know if they brought someone in. So we weren't in the studio when they did the music part, just the vocals. I'm sorry, I have something in my eye. But Tommy is a virtuoso. Like he can really play piano. He played in church. That was his thing growing up. Denny can pick around and he can find the notes, but he was the genius behind those vocals that we had. You know what I mean? So those harmonies, all those EnVogue harmonies that was so beautiful and magical, that was Denny. I'm gonna turn the light on because it's getting a little dark, but I'm here. I'm here, Tiffany. I'm still here.
Go ahead. I love talking about that too, because I feel like it's so interesting to know the behind the scenes and the journey, really, especially, being Black females in this music business.
Yes.
Because you get into it because you love music, you love to sing, you love to write. And
you
get into it and realize very quickly it's a business.
It should be business of music is what it should be called. Really.
Really. I mean, essentially. Yeah. So it's like, you've talked quite a bit about, the start and you and Maxine's relationship. Yes. The rest of the journey, especially being like a Black female in this industry, what would you say is like the most important thing that you learned throughout this journey? Because what are we on, 30 years? I think
30 freaking years, Tiffany.
Anniversary. Yeah, man.
I cannot believe it. Literally.
Of knowledge and growth.
Huh. Yes, exactly.
So navigating this music business, as a Black female, in such a high profile group, but then also as Dawn, what's the most important thing that you've learned throughout the process? Communication.
I don't care what relationship, if it's your neighbors, if it's your significant other, if it's a woman in the store ahead of you, and there's a disruption in communication, something happens and you assume that she's saying something or he's assuming that you're saying, it's like if you don't talk and no, that's not what I meant, or you get mad immediately, things fall apart. Yeah. So with us, it was a matter of they didn't communicate with me properly and they assumed a lot of stuff that was told to them by the record company as opposed to, Dawn, what really happened? What are you really doing? What's really going on with you? There was a breakdown in communication with them and with me, I should say. So because we four, I was going to say four. No, that's 8. Because we 4 did not talk, that communication broke down. And the record company was able to infiltrate and give it in between. And our producers got in between and it was hell. Yeah. So the communication in any form, like I said, I don't care if it's family, if you're not communicating with each other, there's a lot of assumption is made. And then that's when things fall apart. So yeah, that was us. That's exactly what happened.
I feel like that too, along with the fact that I feel like Black women in this music business are always given the short end of the stick. So while you guys were at the height of your career,
Yes.
It still had pennies in them. And that's what's baffling to me, because nobody ever explains the contracts, the business side. And it's like the talent always gets the short end of the stick, but especially when they're Black females, because they feel, I think they feel like nobody's going to stick up for them or look out for them.
Right.
They're just used for their talent and left with nothing. Like you lost your home, and it was just so many things that happened that shouldn't have happened, being who you were.
Exactly.
Who you are,
yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Can we speak to a little bit about that process of being at the height of your career and essentially having nothing?
Exactly. That part of it is really, it pisses me off, because you're right. Everybody around us was paid. Everybody around us was very, doing very well financially. And we were the only ones, even though we were the ones to do, the reason that they were doing well was because of us.
Yep.
You know, and so take care of the people that got you there. I can't understand. I could never look around myself and say, oh, I'm doing really well. Look at my mansion. Oh, yeah, freaking 9 bedrooms or 11 bedrooms. And okay, let me check on my 7 bathrooms I got, or 9 bathrooms. Because that's what our producer had. I can't remember if it was 11 bedrooms or 9, or 7 bathrooms or 9 bathrooms. But it was a hell of a lot of both. And when we got to his mansion, I, with my big mouth, said, wow, after a while, because he walked around and he was bragging, oh, you know, $20 million mansion, man. Look at my plate. He was proud, and rightfully so. He should have been proud. But you don't flaunt in someone's face who actually got it for you and doesn't have one themselves. You don't do that.
Ooh, wow.
You don't do that. So he should have kept his mouth shut about how much it cost. And I, with my big mouth, was like, wow, I can feel myself right now when I said it. Like I should have just kept, and he heard me and he was like, I said, oh, wow. So this is what our money bought you. Like, whoa, look at, you know, you live in large. Yes.
You weren't lying.
I was not, but I was like, Dawn, you're going to get kicked out of this group too. You don't talk against the producer. Denny, girl, because Denny was the reason that we came together. Denny felt like, Denny and Tommy, but Denny was the reason that we came together, and he would always do what I call the brainwashing sessions. So talking to us about who's going to leave the group first, who doesn't want to leave the group, because you can't leave the group. You got to stay in the group. You don't want to be the Diana Ross of the group and leave. You got to stay with your sisters and support each other, even though we're broke. Yeah. So when I said that, wow, this is what our money bought you, he quickly said, no. Well, it wasn't 20 million. It was actually a $8 million mansion. I got it on a foreclosure, as if to say he got a deal. Dude, it's $8 million. Right.
Exactly.
Come on. I can't afford an $800,000 home, let alone an $8 million mansion. Oh my, shame on you. Like, wow. And, yeah, that's the frustration that I felt, because we're making, like I said, we did the lion's share of the work and we got the least of the money.
Right.
And everyone around us was rich. You know, it was like, that should never have happened. I don't know who dropped the ball on that, but I looked to the label and the label is always going to do what is in their own best interest.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That is their job to do that. They're supposed to look out for themselves. They have a job to do. They are running a corporation.
Yeah.
So if your manager, and that's who I blame, our manager, and I blame our producers, because they knew better. They had been in the business a lot longer than us. They knew exactly what to expect. And after our first success, they should have been telling us, okay, you guys have sold 1 million albums. You need to go in the studio and renegotiate.
Exactly.
You need more money, because each of you are only making 2 cents a record. But they didn't do that. So on the first album, we made 2 pennies a record. On the second album, we went so for Born to Sing, 2 pennies a record. That's fine at first because you're brand new. You can't ask for much when you first come in, because the record label doesn't want to invest a lot of time and money into you, because they don't know if you're going to work. They don't know if you're going to be successful. They don't know if the world is going to like your music.
Right.
So they're not going to pour a lot of time and a lot of money into you at first. But after a while, okay, so on the second album, we're still going in to do Funky Divas under the same terms as the first album.
Exactly. That's
something wrong with the picture.
That's well, do you think that was like the beginning of the breakdown?
Stay tuned for part 3 of Dawn Robinson right here on Sip and Dish.